steepening the shaft through transition, path working too far out to in, resulting in slices. If these three things sound like you, I want you to hang around because I'm going to talk you through how we can organically start to get you to shallow the club through a really simple swing thought. Now, unfortunately, when a lot of golfers get into golf, all their focus and attention is on that golf ball, right? It makes sense. You're trying to get that golf ball up into the air. But unfortunately, in having all our focus and attention on that golf ball, all our energy starts to come down at the ball. Now, think about it. If we were playing soccer and there was a soccer ball in front of me, my focus and attention is not on making sure my foot makes contact with that ball. My focus is on trying to get that ball into the goal. It's trying to get it around the goalkeeper. If I was playing tennis and you hit the ball to me, I'm going to run up and I'm going to hit that ball back. Again, I'm not focusing on making sure my racket makes contact with that ball. I'm focusing on trying to send that ball back over the other side of the net. So when we get to golf, instead of our focus and attention being on the ball flying towards our target, all of our focus gets so fixated on that golf ball, which a lot of the time results in us getting steeper through that transition. It's almost like we're chopping wood. So if we can change your focus from being less ball orientated and more target orientated, it's going to allow you to start moving your body a lot better. Now, unfortunately, if you've been playing for years, you've probably ingrained that habit for quite some time, and it's not going to be the easiest fix. However, if we can start to think about a post-impact feel, where we want the club to be finishing post-impact, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to start to reroute how you work the club through transition. So what do I mean by that? A lot of the time when somebody gets steep through transition, we're going to see the club steepening here as we're working that club down. Club head starts to work outside the golf ball line, and as we exit, we work across our body, and we're going to see a club that exits very low here through our rib cage. Again, all our energy is coming down at that golf ball and across our body. We start to see a shaft that's exiting here through our rib cage. Now, if we could change that focus and actually get you trying to work on getting the club exiting through your shoulder, the only way that I could get that club exiting high and through my shoulder is that if the club came on the inside path. There's no way that I could get that club working steep through transition outside the line and then next minute reroute it so it exits up here through my shoulder blade. So if we have an end goal of where we want this club to finish, it's going to be a lot easier for us to work that through transition. Because there's so many drills and thought processes of how you can get the club shallowing, dropping the hands back, drop the hands to the pocket, and they are all very effective. However, transition is when our hands are moving the fastest in the golf swing. So to think about how to move the club through this point is very difficult to do so. However, if we have an end goal of where we want the club to be working towards, to where we want it to be finishing, it's going to make it a lot easier for us to start to reroute that club. So again, if I'm here, I'm trying to feel like my club is going to exit through my shoulder. And the only way that I can do that is by the club working in and up. There's no way, again, that I can get that club working steep across the line and then exiting through my shoulder. It's always going to exit low through my rib cage. So if we start to change your thought process of, okay, try and finish high through that shoulder, you're going to start to creep the path closer to neutral. And if anything, it's actually going to start to work more from the inside, which is going to allow the shaft to shallow more organically through transition as we come through to our exit. So I'm going to hit a couple shots here where, again, my focus is purely on getting that club to exit up here through my shoulder. So again, my feeling is only focusing on exiting through that shoulder. Right, and we can see that that club can come more from the inside. Again, if I had that shaft steepening through transition working outside the line, it's always going to exit low and across my body. I'm trying to get that feeling that it's exiting high and through that through that left shoulder. So again, getting set here, idea is to finish it up high and over that shoulder with my shaft. Now, if I start to organically put that into a bit more of a full swing, let that club finish up, again, still having that same focus on making sure that the club would be exiting here, but now it can actually start to work around and through. What we're going to see is that, again, because my focus is on where I want that ball to go, where I want that club to finish, it's going to have a clear route of how to get there. Again, when all my focus and attention's on that golf ball, all my energy is just coming down. If I can now start to be thinking about, okay, I want that ball to be heading towards my target and I want my club to be finishing up through my shoulder, it's a lot easier to get to that destination, right? Rather than trying to manipulate it there, we know what the end goal is and we can start to work towards that. So again, I'm here, I'm going to have a bit more of a full swing now. Again, same intention, ball is heading down my target, club is exiting through that shoulder. It's going to be a lot easier for you to naturally and organically shallow that club if you're thinking about where you want that ball to go and where you want that club to ultimately finish.